Abbey Wood Station. Hello, how do you do? Eastern end of the new Crossrail Purple Train Elizabeth line, whatever you want to call it. I noticed the other day that Crossrail had put up on their website the amount of time it takes to go between the new stops on the new Purple Train line. And that made me, as per the title of this video, want to come out and take a journey now and ride the 10 stops starting here at Abbey Wood, heading west all the way through to Paddington to see how long it takes to do now, to compare it to how long it's going to take when the new train line starts to operate. Let's do it.
So I'm going to take point-to-point journeys between all the new 10 stations that will be on the Crossrail Elizabeth line and time them how long it takes using existing tubes and DLRs and trains, and then compare those to how long it will take when the new line is open.
So that's the South Eastern service taking us to Woolwich Arsenal in exactly 5 minutes. The Crossrail train, Purple Train, doesn't stop at Plumstead, of course.
The Crossrail station at Woolwich is actually a separate station, but this is the nearest comparable journey that we can do, and the new Purple Train does it 2 minutes quicker.
We just come under the river, which is what the new Elizabeth line will also do. It will do a new tunnel under the river, and I think out of all the time savings on today's journey, this might be the one that saves the most time, because we've got to go up the DLR all the way up to Custom House, change on the DLR there, and then go back down 2 stops down to Custom House, which on the DLR is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stops. On Crossrail, Purple Train, that'll just be like 1 stop. So this will be a big time saving. Made it to Canning Town. There's a familiar face here. There he is.
Hello.
Phil's here. Hey Phil.
Hello.
Where are we?
We're at Canning Town.
Where are we heading to?
Custom House next.
Lead on. I see you've printed up my handy guide there, Bill. Don't reveal the answers now to the video. That is Custom House at 16:42. That is 22 minutes later. So 22 minutes to get from Woolwich via the DLR up to Custom House.
Yes, this is a huge saving in time, but more likely you might have come off a South Eastern train, changed to Crossrail at Abbey Wood, and then gone up to Custom House. And that is a really fast way of doing it.
Genuinely, I'm ridiculously excited about the new line, the new railway.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Of course I am.
What's it going to bring to our railways?
Well, it's just the connections across London, and I just think when people actually get down and see it, they'll, because we've been down there.
We have been down. There we go. That's Bond Street. And I'm on the train. Not allowed on the platform. Thanks, Phil.
I just can't wait to see people on it and people using it and people changing their travel patterns all across London for it. Yeah. I think it's going to be amazing.
Okay. Phil Bobway is the editor of Modern Railways magazine. I believe you got something for me. This is why I meet Phil.
So this issue is in a bag.
A bagged issue.
It's a bagged issue.
This is the new one.
This is the May issue. And this has got our...
What a plug.
This has got our 48-page Crossrail special in it. So...
Okay, back onto the DLR. It's three stops, Phil. 3 stops to Poplar, and then 4 stops. 5 stops, and then we'll change. But what's interesting is that there's a northern entrance exit to Canary Wharf Crossrail, which comes up by West India Quay DLR. It's like you can walk it in 30 seconds. But I think we should go to the same name. So we'll go to Canary Wharf DLR, which is 2 stops. But if you were changing onto the Elizabeth line, Crossrail, you could do it from West India Quay. Little secret for you there.
Or are you just wearing them for occasions?
What about my socks?
They're going to get a lot of use, aren't they?
I've got multiple pairs of socks. Yeah. You should get 10 pairs, one for every day. Yeah, buy the socks at the Transport Museum. I'm fairly sure it's an adjacent platform change here at Poplar. Oh, it's in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. On another day, you'd get a better connection, but 5-minute wait. 4-minute wait now for the Canary Wharf train. We're discussing the most intricate change, which is Farringdon to Tottenham Court Road. Because we either go down Thameslink, City Thameslink, walk to St Paul's along Central Line to Tottenham Court Road, or you go to Euston Square, walk to Euston down the Northern Line, or the faffy one Farringdon to King's Cross, down the Piccadilly to Holborn to Tottenham Court Road, but that's 2 changes. So do you want 1 street change
Or you could
2?
do, I would go City Thames Link.
Phil has spoken. Plus I like Thames.
The next stop is Canary Wharf.
That is 16 minutes, wow, from Custom House to get to Canary Wharf. But that did involve a 5-minute change at Poplar. You might get a swifter connection. The Elizabeth line will be quicker.
Yeah, a swift 4-minute journey time here for the Elizabeth line. It's safe to say that Canary Wharf on the Purple train is going to be really popular, and I will do a more in-depth video about the station when it opens.
We stopped to grab a drink, which is ridiculous because it now means we're doing Jubilee line at 6 p.m. peak evening peak. Where are we going? Canada Water, overground, north to Whitechapel. Let's do it. Bing bong. Changing to northbound overground at Canada Water. And as I'm timing this platform to platform, 1807, left at 50, 55, sorry, 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes. And it will of course be quicker on the new Purple train.
A whole 8 minutes quicker, in fact, taking just 4 minutes to do that journey. Whitechapel is going to be really popular, being a connection point for the Elizabeth line and the Tube and the London Overground.
Phil, I'm kind of going to cheat for the next bit because we'll get an H&C, Hammersmith and City West.
Yeah.
And it'll go Aldgate East, Liverpool Street, sorry, Whitechapel, Aldgate East, Liverpool Street, and that mirrors Crossrail. And then I'm just going to stay on it, Liverpool Street, Moorgate, Barbican, Farringdon. It's kind of, the times are probably near identical. So, yeah.
I think it'll be quicker.
Quicker on what? Quicker on the Tube?
Quicker on the Elizabeth line. Probably.
No, but the thing is that you've got to go down deeper on the Elizabeth line.
Yeah.
Whereas the Tube is at a shallower depth, so it's probably very comparable.
But the Hammersmith and City will be less frequent.
That is less frequent. It's only every 10 minutes, whereas Purple Line trains are every 5 minutes.
When they start, and then when it ramps up later in the year, it will be up to
2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So this one is a gamble, and the times might be comparable. Crossrail trains there will be more frequent, but you have to go down to a lower depth, down longer escalators to get to them, whilst the subsurface trains, the Tube platforms, will be quicker to get to. So I actually think these two will be more or less the same, just depends how the trains are running on any particular day.
So this is the Farringdon down to Tottenham Court Road section, which is a really intriguing connection because nothing else has ever really conveniently connected up this part of the Tube map before. So that's what's cool about this bit. It's an 8-car train and we'll be at the front, so when we get to City Thames Link we'll be at the correct exit to walk down the road to St Paul's on the Central Line.
Ready to depart, please stand clear.
So we're going one stop. Leaving at 6:32. Phil's going. Say bye, Phil. See you.
Bye, Phil. Yeah.
See you for Crossrail opening. So you come out of City Thames Link, turn right, walk up Ludgate Hill, St Paul's Cathedral, just about here, which means the Central Line tube station is around the corner here. It's a 4-minute wait for a Central Line train. Yeah, it's rush hour, so it's busy, but that is for the 4-minute wait at St Paul's, which wasn't ideal. That was 19 minutes from Farringdon to here at Tottenham Court Road. So that Purple Line sort of diagonal move across sort of from Farringdon to southwest down to Tottenham Court Road is going to be a massive time saver, like this.
Yes, this is a genuine fresh connection, connecting up the top of the Circle Line with the middle part, the Central Line, that goes to the centre of the Tube map. Great stuff and very fast.
Now for the next part of the video, I'm going to go to Bond Street, which is only like 90 seconds on the Central Line, maybe 2 minutes. Unfortunately, Crossrail Bond Street isn't opening until maybe later October, November, later this year, 2022. When we get to Bond Street, that'll be an excellent opportunity to talk about why Crossrail, Elizabeth Line, is not part of the Tube. There goes the northbound Jubilee line out of Bond Street. We'll be getting that in a second to change at Baker Street, cross-platform connection onto the Baker Loop to take me to Paddington for the final time journey. Before then, I wanted to play you a little clip which to sort of put to rest any doubt that Crossrail, Elizabeth Line, small L line,
isn't part of London Underground, here is a quote from a meeting where Mark Wilde, the CEO of Crossrail, was talking about what type of line it is.
Crossrail isn't really a new tube line, it's more than that, it's a new mode of transport that brings mainline into like RER in Paris.
And in case you're wondering, well, what is the RER? Because he says it's like the RER in Paris. I thought to myself, do I know anyone in Paris that could go to an RER station and explain what the RER is? Yes, I do.
Hello and bonjour. So the RER is the Réseau Express Régional, or in English, the Regional Express Network. The initials don't quite translate. And there are 5 lines.
The first 2 opened back in 1977, and all 5 do the same thing that Crossrail is designed to do. They run underground through the centre of the city, and then pop out onto pre-existing commuter networks in the suburbs. The stations are fully integrated with the metro, and you can change between the 2 systems without really noticing, but they are quite different. The RER is a full-size train. It's longer, wider and taller, and like all mainline trains in France, it runs on the left, while the metro runs on the right. So it's definitely a different kind of system, and that's why they're saying Crossrail is more similar to this than it is to the tube.
That's Tim Traveller, Jeff Marshall's Paris correspondent, on the RER.
Thanks, Tim. That is, of course, Tim Traveller, my friend living out there in Paris, doing all his amazing transport stuff that he does out in France. Subscribe to his channel, link below in the description. So that is what I think Crossrail Elizabeth Line is like an RER-style service that Paris already has. I'm sure this one is up for debate in the comments. Until then, we've got one more time trip to do from here, Bond Street, to Paddington, like this. Trick of people only just making it. 3 in a row. Right, Baker Street changing, Paddington, and we'll time it. So, made it to Paddington. Thank you, Bakerloo Line. Swift change back there to make it here. And I've checked my watch on my phone. 7 minutes, so 7 minutes via tube, and it's a lot quicker on the Elizabeth Line. On the tube, you could go via Notting Hill Gate, but that's even slower. But even with that swift connection at Baker Street, the purple train wins out easily. And there we go, we're at Paddington Crossrail Elizabeth Line station. The main GWR concourse is over there. This is where I stood a few weeks ago and we did have the preview trip. That is the amount of time it's going to take using traditional methods going from point to point as compared to how long it's going to take on the purple train. But of course, it's not actually really about that, is it? Because you wouldn't make all those individual journeys from point to point. The real benefit, the real time saver, the real game-changing moment that it's going to have is the fact that it allows you to go through the heart of London much more quickly than you can at the moment if you're making through journeys, which I know at the moment is broken up by that Paddington and Liverpool Street won't be open on day 1, but that will come later in the year. So yeah, truly Crossrail will fully fledge its wings the day when you can get on a train at Reading and then sort of go straight to Bond Street and so on. But from point to point journeys, it definitely is quicker, and it's amazing, it's shiny, it's new, it's purple, and I'll see you on Tuesday, May the 24th. Press subscribe. Thanks.